Yo guys, what's good? Welcome back to another video where we will be speaking about the Europa League first leg matches and predicting them. So first game we have Barca versus Man United. It's going to be a very good game between two sides that are on form in their leagues. And let's start with Barca. And they were in the UCL but dropped to the Europa League, finished third in Group C with 7 points. In the last 5 games in the UCL, they won 1 and lost 4. The team is top of the league in La Liga at the moment. And let's switch over to Man United. Who have been in great form in the Europa League. Based on their form, they finished second in their group in Group E with 15 points, and in their last 5 Europa League games, they have 15 points, which is very impressive. And as I said, in the last 5 Europa League games, they won all 5, and Rashford has been in incredible form. So my prediction is going to be 2-1 Man United. Now Ajax versus Union Berlin, both of these teams seem to be playing some decent football. So let's start off with Ajax. So Ajax went from the UCL to Europa League, finished third in Group A with 6 points in the UCL. And Ajax in their last 5 UCL games have won 1 game and lost 4. And Ajax used to be such an incredible team in the past years, but this year they're struggling quite a bit. And now onto the opponents. Union Berlin, they placed second in Group D with 12 points, and Union Berlin only scored 4 goals and conceded 2 in 6 games. And in their last 5 games they won 4 and they lost 1. They're also second in Bundesliga, which is very impressive. So they're having a very good season. And my prediction is going to be 2-0 Union Berlin. Now Shakhtar Donetsk versus Rennes. Let's start off with Shakhtar Donetsk. In the UCL, they got dropped down to the Europa League. And in the UCL, they finished third place in Group F with 6 points. And in their last 5 UCL games, they drew 3 and lost 2 games. Shakhtar will be without Mudryk as he transferred to Chelsea, and they could struggle in this game. Let's make the switch over to Rennes. Rennes finished second in Group B with 12 points. They scored 11 goals and conceded 8 against them. And in the last 5 games, they won 2 and drew 3, which means they went unbeaten in the last 5 games. And my prediction is going to be 2-1 Shakhtar. And RB Salzburg versus Roma. This should be a very entertaining game to watch, as both teams are decent. So let's start off with Salzburg. They're a team that finished third with 6 points in Group E. In the last 5 UCL games, they won 1, drew 2, and lost 2. I haven't watched the team play much, but in recent years they have had some players with real talent. And onto Roma, the opposition. Roma are a good side, and their manager is Jose Mourinho. Roma finished with 10 points in second in Group C, scoring 11 goals and conceding 7. In their last 5 games, they won 3, drew 1, and lost 1. And they have quality players like Abraham, Dybala, etc. And this game is going to be a 2-0 win for Roma, in my opinion. Now, Sporting CP versus Midtjylland. I could see this game being a dominant one from Sporting. Speaking of Sporting, let's start with that team. They're a team who got third in Group D in the UCL with 7 points, scored 8 goals and conceded 9. In the last 5 games, they won 1, drew 1, and lost 3. And onto the opponents, Midtjylland. And I honestly believe this team's very underrated in the Europa League. They finished second in Group F with 8 points, scored 12 goals and conceded 8 in the group stages. In their last 5 games, they won 2, drew 2, and lost 1. And prediction is going to be 3-2 Midtjylland. Now Leverkusen versus Monaco. This is going to be probably one of the bigger games on Thursday. And this should be a decent game between two fairly good teams. So let's start with Bayer Leverkusen. Leverkusen got third in Group B with 5 points. So they dropped to Europa League. A player who is special for this team is Wirtz, and has a lot of potential and talent. In those last 5 UCL matches, they won 1, drew 2, and lost 2. And bit of a rough one there for Leverkusen. Onto the opponents, Monaco. So Monaco finished in second in Group H with 10 points, scored 9 and conceded 8. A player who has been great has been Ben Yedder. People who play FIFA call him the Rat. And in the last 5 games, they have won 2 games, got 1 draw, and lost twice. Both teams are good, as I said before, but I think Monaco will edge it with a 2-1 win. Now Juventus versus Nantes. We're going to have a team who's struggling in Juventus against a Nantes team who are decent. So let's start with Juventus. So Juventus dropped from the Europa League, from UCL to the Europa League. In Group H, they got third with 3 points, scored 9 goals and conceded 13. And in their last 5 games, they won 1 and lost 4. And Juve got points deducted in Serie A as well. So they're a bit mudded, to be fair. And let's jump on over to Nantes. They finished second in Group G with 9 points, scored 6 and conceded 11. That's pretty interesting. I wonder how they got through with more goals conceded than scored. But in their last 5 games, they have won 2 and lost 3. And this is a tough prediction, but I'm going to go 1-0 Juve. And the last game is going to be Sevilla versus PSV. As I said, I see only one team winning here, to be fair. So Sevilla went from UCL to the Europa League. They finished third in Group G with 5 points in the UCL, scored 6 and conceded double that amount in 12. In the last 5 games, they won 1, drew 2 and lost 2. Ever since Lopetegui left, that's when the downfall happened, in my opinion. And PSV will be the opponents. They finished second in Group A with 13 points and scored 15 and conceded 4. Now that's very impressive. They lost 2 important players in Yakpo to Liverpool and Madueke to Chelsea, but they do have a player who's been doing pretty well in Xavi Simons. He's been doing really well for PSV ever since he moved there. And in their last 5 games, they have won 4 and lost 1. And I see PSV winning this game 3-0. So I appreciate you guys watching this video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what game you are looking forward to watching. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Have a great day. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.